viewers, a very good evening. I'm Aditi Lamba with the Wednesday night edition of South Asian News on Vision of Asia. We are proud to represent views of many prominent voices from within the diaspora with much on culture, politics, policy, education, entertainment, and a lot more. Much is taking place in the nation this week as the US government still remains in a partial shutdown, which is now the longest shutdown in the US history. The partial government shutdown, now in its fourth week, has impacted the nation's economy, airports, federal departments, and much more. We have more on the ongoing shutdown on tonight's episode, along with a continuation of our Vision of Asia, a look back at 2018 in review. But first, a look at the major headlines for tonight. Highlights of Mayor Bill de Blasio's State of the City Address 2019 in New York. Indian community comments on US government shutdown 2019, ITV Gold exclusive. More on the other side of the break on South Asians and their expressions. Stay with us in Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. We'll be right back. And welcome again. I'm Aditi Lamba and you're watching Vision of Asia, South Asian News segment. Beginning the show, we have tonight highlights from New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio's sixth State of the City address, where he presented his tenure in New York City and sought to tie the proposals together under a theme he has championed since first running for office, which is eliminating inequality. The mayor vowed to keep working for the improvement of New York City's lives while taking his message to a national audience on New York being the safest big city in America. ITV Gold's program director Ashok Vyas brings us the story with an exclusive with City Comptroller. Let's take a look.
Almighty and eternal God, thou who controllest the destiny of all peoples and in whose hand lies the fate of all nations. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "It's fine to be alive when great things are happening." Indeed, it's fine to be alive when great things are happening here in New York City under the wise, determined, and creative leadership of Mayor Bill de Blasio. We are blessed to be residents of a city where crime is at an all-time low and educational opportunity is at an all-time high. It is a place where so many people look to for inspiration and guidance and wisdom as we make our way towards the future. We are so thankful to be in a community where the mayor fights for the equal dignity and sanctity of every citizen of this exemplary metropolis.
Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
You know, Bill and I are blessed that we don't have to struggle as hard as some folks, but I was nodding too, because when our children were young, we didn't have extended family around to help, and it wasn't easy. When my mother was diagnosed with cancer and Bill's mother was wheelchair-bound with heart disease at the same time, we needed to move them close by and give them extra care. Society has changed drastically over the last 50 years. People are working harder and working longer hours. Most women are working outside the home, and there are more single-parent households. That's why we created Thrive NYC, to help more people.
I believe we can look back at what we've accomplished together over the past year, and we can feel a lot of pride. Let me begin at the beginning. Once again, we're the safest big city in America. The NYPD has pushed crime to record lows with the fewest homicides since 1951. Neighborhood policing is now the reality in this city, and it works. Now, last year, I pledged that we would not only be the safest big city in America, but we'd also strive to be the fairest big city in America. And that's why in 2018, we built and protected more affordable apartments than ever. The New York City Housing Authority has a plan to bring brand new everything to 175,000 NYCHA residents, from new roofs to new kitchens and bathrooms. We still grapple with too many people in this town who need our help because they're homeless, but proud to say that we moved more than 2,000 homeless New Yorkers off the streets and in to a permanent situation where they can be taken care of and they can get the help they need. We've provided every 4-year-old in this city with free full-day pre-K. And now we've provided a record number of children across the city with 3K. After years of laying the groundwork, our technology community, our tech community reached a turning point. New York City is now one of the world's premier tech hubs, and all those jobs are now here for the people of New York City. And so this year in New York City, we will guarantee health care for all our people.
Talk to me a little bit about your overall satisfaction, what you were expecting in this address. Did you find something that is close to your heart?
Well, I'm very excited about a lot of the bold programs he's putting forth. I think it was a successful State of the City. But the truth, it's all about the details. And also, we have to have a real discussion about what wasn't discussed, which is record homelessness, the crisis in NYCHA, the fact that people are finding this to be an unaffordable city. We need to have a different kind of housing plan to meet the challenges of homelessness. So there was a lot that I applauded, but there's a lot that I'm concerned about. I'm going to continue to do my job, audit every city agency, root out waste and fraud, critique the mayor when he's wrong, agree with him when he's right, and that's what we're going to do.
I think he gave a lot of positive sides of his administration. Be it homelessness, he said it has been reduced. He said the conventional wisdom has been challenged and less people behind the bar, yet the crime rate is so low. Do you agree on those counts?
Well, I do agree that we live in the biggest, safest city. I think the mayor gets great credit for that. The economy has been strong. Mayors get credit for that. I want to tackle the toughest problems in the city. We cannot call ourselves a progressive city until we get people out of homeless shelters. We have got to build housing for the 580,000 people who are housing challenged. So there's a lot more to do. Obviously, I support a lot of his programs, but we have to, this is a moment in our history where we have to think big and do big things.
How, as someone from minority, made you feel overall the issues that were discussed?
I feel very proud to be part of this great New York City. It's a world famous city,
and I've been living here all my life, and very proud of being here, even today at this moment, at this event. Also, I think New York City government is doing a lot of work to maintain this diverse population that we have. They're doing amazing work. I mean, you heard everything, all the things they're doing. Very satisfied with this, the way they're handling things right now.
Continuing our detailed reports on the ongoing U.S. government shutdown, we now have exclusives featuring council officials from New Jersey along with more prominent leaders and members from the community. About 800,000 federal workers have been affected by the shutdown. Yesterday, members of the Coast Guard missed their paychecks while food safety inspectors were asked to return to work without a pay. A typical federal worker has now missed $5,000 in pay so far, and even without pay, many workers continue to show up to work for a variety of reasons. Let's take a look at what South Asians have to currently say about the issue.
What it means to have a federal shutdown, it's absolutely absurd. The effect that's going to happen not only to those people without a paycheck, and just to look back at the Christmas and the holidays have just passed, most people are spending over 130% of their money and are relying on this paycheck. So life goes by on consistency, and when you're waiting for your paycheck and you're overspent, it just puts you into a bigger dive. Nonetheless, some of these federal institutions that we need, that are necessary for the heartbeat of America to protect us, our military. How could we live without our military? This is insane to not have our federal military guys working, have the Food and Drug Administration alone. The Food and Drug Administration alone needs to inspect over 160 domestic manufacturing food facilities, with having over 128,000 people who wind up in hospitals with foodborne illnesses and 3,000 killed. And we're not going to have the FDA in work? Can't happen. So we need to do a lot. We need to send a message to Congress, a message to our president, how these necessities of daily life have to continue to happen.
I don't think it's a proper policy-making process. I think that he's made it clear that he just wants the wall to be built, and it's clear that Mexico is not paying for the wall. So there's no reason for government to be shut down right now. I think that if you want to do things properly, the way to go about them is to do them in piecemeal. And the reality is that he's probably not going to get what he wants. And I think that the government should reopen and he should pass the bills.
Hi, my name is Hemant Bhatt, and I am the founder and chairman of South Asian Republican Coalition. And that's a good question, like why the government is shut down and what is the necessity for wall. The important thing is government is partially shut down, and there is no dispute, there is no two opinions about that the Americans and America's safety and security has to be on the top of everybody's mind. And there are statistics available where there are like one of the two studies appeared in the newspaper today. These two studies have said that in America there are 22.1 million illegal immigrants. And if this number is really correct, it's really surprising that in spite of all the immigration laws and in spite of all the system in place, why this many people have entered our country. Number one. Number two is all over the world, any country you go and there are walls and there are barriers in order to make sure that country is protected properly and there is no illegal infiltration. Now only this is really surprising that in America do not have the southern wall and these people are able to come into this country. So I am very firmly believing that the America should be protected, Americans should be protected, and we have to make sure that the criminals or the drug or the human trafficking should be stopped, and let us make this country great. Let us continue to be safe, proud, and let us continue to make sure that we do the best thing what is required to be done for the safety and security of this country. Thank you.
Why don't they all sit together, and they're sitting together again, stop this shutdown business now and talk and talk and talk and open the government. Let the government run the business. Every day there is a loss of $5 billion or $1 billion, whatever it is. Why do we have to go through this? Why do the employees have to go through this? Why do they have not money to cook the food in their houses? Why do we have to do it? Because you don't have a wall? Because you want $5.7 billion for wall? Or maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Let's all educated people talk about it. Let educated people talk about it. What is best for the country? That's what you should do it.
There could be a problem. There is a problem that should be attended properly in a way, amicable way. Whether it's Democrat problem or Republican problem for every American. If there is really a problem, the solution can be found out. Shutdown really means Congress or the White House, they don't get affected themselves. Their payroll doesn't get cut. People who get affected, who work hard morning till evening, they don't deserve this cut. And this is not such an emergency, or if it is the emergency, prove it before you take the action. Present your case. If this is really needed to shut down the government and then talk about the securing the borders. Border security everyone wants. Nobody wants criminals to be in the country. Everybody wants to be safe, which we are. The law enforcement agencies, they are doing a great job every single day. They are putting their life.
After the break, we bring you 2018 in review with much more on South Asian Americans. Stay with us on Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. We'll be right back. And welcome back. You are tuned into Vision of Asia, bringing you prime South Asian highlights from all across. This is our special edition of a look back at 2018 in review, where we reflect upon some of the strongest displays of the diaspora this past year. Beginning the review today, in New York, Global Organization of People of Indian Origin, GOPIO International, held their second Health Council at the Consulate General of India, a full-hour gathering focused on creating a health summit for the Indian diaspora. The event saw several prominent dignitaries, professionals and others come together to highlight and raise awareness on health issues impacting Indians.
Thank you so much, for letting me come here. This was such a wonderful session. I just could not believe what I heard. The doctors themselves were so honest. They were truthful. They came up with every details of the medical profession. Where they talked about, what are the medicines that you should not take, what are the medicines you can take, and what will help your body, what will not help your body. So in this sense, I felt that I got an honest opinion from all of them. And myself being, in the naturopathy, and I'm going to be talking about natural ways of healing the body. But what I heard from these doctors was really amazing. I was so pleased, and I'm really pleased to have been here.
How many of you have heard of Atkins diet? There we go. Quite a few of you. And Atkins diet is a high protein diet, and most of it is meat also. Fine. For some people it may work. But one thing they don't realize with the meat eating part is, are you getting fresh meat every day? Fresh killed meat. If you are not, then you are not really doing a diet. Why? Because the meat that you're getting has lots of preservatives.
It went wonderful. We were highlighting diaspora in relation to diabetes, a number one killer, and also the oral health care related to the diabetes. The session was very well organized. I'm Asha Samant from the School of Dental Medicine, but I'm also International Coordinator Chair for the Global Organization of People of Indian Origin. I am very glad to be part of that. It was a successful event. Thank you.
Taking a look at the highlights from the festive season of Diwali in 2018, let's now take a look at the Surti's Lights of Diwali Festival event held in Jersey City. Surti for Performing Arts, in partnership with the Art House Productions, presented a 4-day extravaganza featuring live performances, a free street fair, and culminating in a Diwali indoor celebration. The event was a perfect avenue for educating the community about Indian culture and providing a platform for new and aspiring talent to showcase their art. Let's take a look.
And I played the character of Ramji. This production is a phenomenal production. We've been very lucky and privileged and blessed to be able to put this on in Jersey City. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Uma Paranjpe, and I played Sita. The Ramayana is very close to me. I grew up with the story, so it was really, really special for Rimli to invite me to help portray this incredible epic. I had a lot of fun, and I can't wait to work with Rimli again.
My name is Eamon Yates. I played Lakshman. I was pretty honored to be part of such a culturally rich and historic show. And someone who didn't grow up with the culture, it's quite an incredible opportunity to be able to share in those beliefs, in those cultures, in those ideas. So this has been a blessing for me, and a blessing to meet such a diverse and expansive group of people from all different backgrounds, all different trainings, all different ideas and ways of life. So I thank the show, I thank Rimli for such an incredible opportunity.
My name is Jason George, and I play Hanuman. And this has been one of the most amazing opportunities of my life. You know, I love the diversity of the cast and all the talent, and I want to thank Rimli from the bottom of my heart for letting me be a part of this process and bringing Hanuman to life, and I hope I brought Hanuman justice. Thank you again.
Hi, I'm Miles Lobo. It's actually my first time playing a bad guy, and Rimli really...
bad guy.
I'm not.
No.
And Rimli really helped me through, getting every section of it. Like, I learned how to dance, I learned everything and so much from working with Rimli.
And it's been a great, great pleasure doing the music and supporting my daughter Rimli and her enthusiasm. And I'm so proud of her that she's made this production and that I've been able to help a little in this. And this is a completely original Broadway style, opera singing style, and innovative Indian dancing and variety of effects and dancing in this. And it's indeed a pleasure to be involved in something like this, and I hope it goes all around the world after a while.
Time for another show break on our edition of Vision of Asia. I'll look back at 2018 in review. Stay with us, we'll be right back. And welcome again, I'm Aditi Lamba, and you're tuned into our special ongoing edition of Vision of Asia South Asian News segment, a look back at 2018 in review. Continuing a review of major South Asian stories from last year, let's now take a look at the Nargis Dutt Memorial Foundation, which held its 2018 37th Annual Fundraising Gala in Uniondale, New York. The foundation hosted close to 400 people at their 37th Annual Gala, a prestigious event attended by community leaders of Long Island, New York, and New Jersey. Daughter of late Bollywood stars Nargis Dutt and Sunil Dutt and former member of Indian Parliament Priya Dutt addressed all at the event, urging Indian Americans to support improvements in cancer treatment for rural underserved communities in India. Let's take a look.
The Nargis Dutt Foundation, New York, started in 1981. It was after the death of my mother, and it was her desire while she was sick here. And she used to keep telling my father that, it's so easy for you to bring me to America for treatment because you could afford it. But there are thousands of people back in our own country which could not even think to bring their loved ones out of the country for any sort of treatment. So I think she felt really bad that, she could come here, but there were so many who couldn't bring their loved ones here.
I encourage the current and future leaders of the Nargis Dutt Foundation to continue and boost their effort to improve the cancer care not only in India but throughout the world. To that end, it is the responsibility of each and every one of us to not only support the Nargis Dutt Foundation in their programs, but open up our hearts and our wallets and give our fair share to generous contribution towards the noble cause of Nargis Foundation. Personally, as you know, I'm an asthma allergy specialist, but as a part of my community service, when I turned 60, I acquired 4 newspapers and now a 24/7 TV channel called ITV Gold. And that's pure community service, and I'm offering all this qualified media, which is the largest publication house in the North America, to the Nargis Foundation to make use of this platform to propagate the good cause. Thank you very much, and you can always count on me. Thank you.
And this wraps up our segment of South Asian happenings for tonight with our edition of 2018 in review. Send us your suggestions to get your voices and organization to our show. Do write to us on events@itvgold.com or follow us on our Facebook handle @itvgold. Remember to also subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch many of our popular shows for free. Thank you for tuning in tonight. This is Vision of Asia and I am Aditi Lamba. Take care and be well.